As documentarists, our job is to tell stories, and so stories of other people, and the people we choose to talk about are those that are disenfranchised or marginalised.
Blakely and Lloyd was an exhibition of a range of our work, and so it really looked at about 15 years of our practice at the time. So it included aspects from lots of different stories, and so typically you wouldn't see those stories coming together, but it covered individual projects that we'd worked on, hospice and palliative care. I think it had Derek's story, and it had some of the mothers of children who suicided that I worked on. So it was an incredibly eclectic mix of work, but I think perhaps spoke to the one idea of the human condition. A lot of the projects we work on are incredibly sensitive issues or social issues, and so there's not a lot of venues that will show that sort of work. It's too depressing.
But when other people hurt or when other people are marginalised, there's nothing for an audience to be depressed about. It should inspire them to say, what can I do to make a difference?
My mother always would say to me, why can't you just photograph flowers, something really quiet and soft. And so to be able to say, we've got a show at the Museum of Brisbane, I think she could finally say to her friends, my daughter, my son-in-law have got a show at the Museum of Brisbane. So it was kind of quite lovely.
Amy came, Derek's wife.
That's right, yeah. She did,
and
yeah.
Amy's, I don't know, probably about 81, 82. So it was quite an exercise for Amy to get up and come, and Derek was a very quiet piece that was put up on the wall. And I think if it was just a commercial gallery, or if it was showing at a friend's place, it wouldn't have had the same impact. This was the Museum of Brisbane that was paying attention to her husband, and this was something that we were proud of, but Amy was proud of also. Any change that occurs in the world begins with a story. And that's really the fascinating aspect. So, as people come and meet Derek, or as they come and meet Bev, they work and they say, I know someone, and then it begins from there.
Quite often someone will say, I know someone who's suicided, or my uncle suicided, or my grandfather was in hospice care just recently. All these other stories unfold. So even though it may not be their story, I think that connection, and therefore the excuse to be able to talk about their experience of that also is shared.
Look, we go about our daily business. We shop, we eat, we shop, we eat, and then we shop again. But the bottom line is, we are the stories we tell, and we are the stories that we share with others. And the Museum of Brisbane is very much an archive where those stories are being collected. And it captures our past, it captures our present, but more than that, it engages us in terms of what our future is going to be.